so many instruments, like music is just being produced up in this room. And then you got the super voice just getting on this microphone and just carrying this whole band, this whole instrumental avalanche. Just, oh, the poetry that comes out of her mouth is just out of this world. It is so intricate. It is so smart. It is so clever. It is so intelligent. It is so inspiring. It is so heartfelt. It is, if you got empathy, you understand what's going on here. You can feel it, you know? Laying down, feeling like I'm not even alive. So she's just talking about her thoughts as she's laying down in depression, dealing with depression, basically. The invisible wounds that nobody sees. Oh my God. Full circle. Welcome back to my catalog, and today we had to go back to the one and only, yes, Aurora. And not only did we have to go back, we had to go back to a performance of hers, because she's been absolutely thrilling in every single performance that I have witnessed so far. And this is coming from somebody who's watching her on screen. I can't imagine what it would be like live seeing her. So if she's ever near my town, this is one of the artists I'm definitely traveling for certain. And today, Aurora is going to be performing Invisible Wounds live at the NRK TV. Aksjonen. TV aksjonen. Oh, TV action. Aksjonen. Right? Yeah. TV action? Is that what it is? So beautiful.
I squeeze into a small hole through the eyes of needles to stitch you up again, even though I know so well I can't fix anything. I look for blood to shed, mistaking every vein for thread.
That's her poetry. Her poetry. Obviously, her vocals are angelic, cool. I don't know if that is the word. She sounds like an angel. That's what I'm trying to say, right? But what she just said, she's looking through a peephole that's narrow like a needle. She talked about threading, but what's the point of it when nothing ever works for her? Crazy, right? Crazy. And she's still playing on this needle, this thread in the needle. I mean, she's precise. Invisible wounds. And it's crazy because needles also doctors, right? Injections for pain and so forth. There's all types of, I mean, there's it's genius. Invisible wounds. And you know when they take your blood, right? They put a needle in your skin, right? And after they do it, that scar is invisible. That's an invisible wound. The needle. Do you see what I'm saying? And she's working with the needle and the thread. It is just so intricate and so intelligent and so smart. I wish I had the lyrics in front of me so I could just read them a couple of times, because you need to read it a couple of times to get what she's saying. And then you can actually take those words, because they're so broad in the situation, that you can basically make it about yourself as well, right? So it's broad. It could go either way. It can go for her situation, but it could go for my situation as well, depending on how you're listening to it. But that's the beauty about this poetry, that you can interpret it the way you want to interpret it as an individual. And that's another irony about this whole thing, is the fact that she is an individual and she's preaching individuality around the world on a constant basis. So you see how it all comes together, warriors? The whole battle comes together. And this is how you win the war, when you got everybody together. Come on, let's go.
thread spreading out too thin as I'm lying in my bed, barely existing. And I need you, and I need you to understand, to
Wow.
Sometimes I see.
I mean, she's wow. Wow. You wouldn't understand that metaphor unless you understand her charisma behind what she's saying. First, she said, I need you. So it sounded like I need help because she's laying on that bed and she barely feels alive. So I need you to understand. But when she said to understand, right after that, she said, you need to understand children. You need to understand sometimes when people don't know, you have to be a bit more patient with people because you don't know what they're going through. This person is laying down on a bed, not even feeling alive. Being herself, you need to understand her for her and not disrespect her because she's not like the person you think she should be. Understand her silliness, understand her humor, understand her way of living. She won't change for nobody because she's gonna be herself. So please, I need you to understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I need you to understand. You know what I mean? That's so tough. And let's just talk about this entire musical room that's around her. I mean, absolutely. These instruments are some of my favorite instruments in the entire world. And I was just thinking, this this young lady right here is all by herself with a microphone, and she got all of these people playing all these instruments from everything you can imagine, violins and all, everything. So many instruments, like music is just being produced up in this room. And then you got the super voice just getting on this microphone and just carrying this whole band, this whole instrumental avalanche. Just, the poetry that comes out of her mouth is just out of this world. It is so intricate. It is so smart. It is so clever. It is so intelligent. It is so inspiring. It is so heartfelt. It is, if you got empathy, you understand what's going on here. You can feel it. Laying down, feeling like I'm not even alive. So she's just talking about her thoughts as she's laying down in depression, dealing with depression, basically. The invisible wounds that nobody sees. Oh my God. Full circle, invisible wounds nobody sees. It's the internal battles within you when you're trying to figure yourself out. Just know if you are in that battle, or what they call battle. I don't like calling it in my temple battle, but other people like to. They go like, oh, I'm fighting between good and evil. I don't know why. I don't have no evil in me at all. I'm telling you right now, the good has won over here. We are totally free over here. We are free willing. We think for ourselves and all of that. In my temple, I don't know how other people are. But Invisible Wounds has so many layers. So many layers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is poetry. Poetry. This is true poetry right here. My goodness. And her voice. What are we talking about?
Sometimes I see light, and I fear it's only fantasy. Oh, wouldn't it be tragic if there is no light in me, not any magic? And I need you.
Ooh, and then she Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I'm stopping this so much, guys, but for some reason I'm capturing everything she's saying. She said, as I'm staring into the light. So, as I'm staring into the light could be now because she felt like she wasn't even living laying on the bed. Now that she's staring out the light, there might be hope over there. Hope always keeps people alive. It's been keeping people alive forever, since Jesus and before. So hope is very, very important. You need hope. So first of all, the way she did it too, like looking at the light, right? As she's looking at the light, she said, this is like paradise, it's like magic. So this life right now that we are living right now, when you really open your eyes to the light of what it actually is, you'll notice it for the blessing it is, right? So count your blessings. This life is everything. This right now, your life is everything, right? You in your temple is everything. So that, and then she was like, wouldn't it be tragic, right? After all that paradise talk, wouldn't it be tragic that after me there's no light? So when I'm gone, there's no light. So the only light I've really had was this life that I'm living right now. Because after, there was no magic, no heaven, no nothing. It was just gone. So this is the only life you have. At this moment, I understand many people will argue. I would argue too. I will argue back and forth. But none of us is right, honestly. I believe in God, don't get me wrong, in any type of way. I believe in the creator of everything, right? I believe God is earth, right? But that's nevertheless, this is just my beliefs. Forget my beliefs. What I'm saying is this. What she's saying is a fact. What we know for certain is our life that we live in right now. Our reality is what we know right now. What happens after we are gone, I don't know. Nobody really knows. Has anybody came back from the dead and told us what happens? No. So there's no way we can know. So what she's saying is actually true. It's true as far as we know it. But like I said, there's always faith and there's always hope. You're hoping that there is a heaven. You have faith. But at the same time, don't just hope for heaven or have faith in heaven and disregarding this life right here. Because this life is, the blessing is already here. So if you're not enjoying this blessing here, how you going to enjoy your blessing in heaven? How do you know you're not going to be the same stress ball when you go to heaven? Just think about that. She's a freaking genius, yo. Invisible wounds. My goodness, I've had these battles. I've had these thoughts. I've had these ideas and so forth. See, guys, I'm different than a lot of other people. I change my mind, and I'm not afraid to change my mind because I'm seeking for the truth. I'm seeking for reality. I'm seeking for the real. So I'm if I'm wrong, if I end up being wrong, I'm not gonna be hard-headed and just keep pounding the wrong. Like, what kind of sense does that make? You know? So if I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure this is all we know right now. You know? Because I know a lot of people go like, oh, I died for 5 minutes. You know, I seen the light and they seen all of these different things. I seen a lot too when I sleep. And they say sleep is the cousin of death. So I've had plenty of dreams. I guess if that is the afterlife you're talking about, whew, sometimes it was bad. Sometimes it was really good. I must admit. I don't know. It's all skeptical, guys. It's all good. So deep. She's so nice, my God, and the people around her are fascinating. You know what I love the most about her is her charisma. Every word that she delivers, first of all, the voice, the vocals are just out of this world. So the delivery of the actual vocals is out of this world. But beyond the actual vocals and the sound of the vocals and even the delivery of the vocals is the charisma in which she performs. Like when she's looking at the light, and I mean, that's amazing. That she really, it's like a Broadway show, you know, and she's just such a great soul. Let's go. She's killing the game. I'm not even that deep, and I know I stopped her so many times, but look at what she's saying. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
sometimes I see light, and I fear it's only fantasy. Oh, wouldn't it be tragic if there is no light in me, not any magic?
Okay, maybe she's looking at heaven now. Okay, now I get it. Maybe she's looking at heaven, and then she's saying like the fantasies they give you. And you know what's one crazy thing about heaven is, and again, guys, I do believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell, but I do believe in heaven, right? But what's crazy is, how would somebody else's heaven be my heaven? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you say you're going to heaven, what heaven are you going to? Are you going in John's heaven? Are you going in Jose's heaven? Like, whose heaven are you going? Because to me, heaven is, you are heaven. You are what you make it, you know? So, I don't know. It's hard to believe that everybody's gonna go to the same heaven. Like, we all gonna go meet everybody in heaven, and I don't know. I guess it could be a magical place. I mean, I wouldn't say anything is impossible, but it's just thinking so much about after you gone makes you forget about why you're here before you're gone, right? Yeah, for certain, for certain. But yeah, that's what she's talking about. She's looking at the heaven, and wouldn't it be tragic if heaven didn't exist, you know? And there was no magic like that. Whew. Tough, tough. But I need you to understand. La 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 la.
And I need you to forgive me if you can, if you can, Lord. I know the best I can.
Oh my goodness, she said, forgive me for even putting that thought in you. How kind is that? She's amazing. Amazing. We're going to run that back because vocally, that was just, whew.
Not any magic. And I need you to forgive me if you can, if you can, Lord. I know the best I can. It isn't always good enough. And it hurts to know I hurt you, like I know it hurts for you to know you hurt me. And now my blood is yours, and life is slowly losing touch. How do we learn to tend to these invisibles our homes gave us?
Attend to the temple. Oh my goodness. She is the magic. If there's no magic after this life, we will die knowing that she was magic. She is incredible. Incredible. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling that. Yo. Well, first things first is we need to attend to a temple before it's too late, right? Because when it's too late, then we don't know what's gonna happen afterwards. You might have, not you might have, you'll definitely regret it everything. You know, so nobody wants to live with regret. First things first, just do everything you can, right? Chase all your dreams and do everything you trying to accomplish while you have this time out here. So use this temple wisely. And she's talking to herself, basically. She's saying, I know this hurts. Because sometimes when you talk to yourself, you have to be honest with yourself, right? Like, let's say if you out of shape, right? You have to be honest with yourself. You have to look yourself in the mirror and go like, hey, you out of shape, right? It's the David Goggin thing, you know, like you have to be real with yourself. You can't just brush things off, because over time all that you swept under the rug is going to come above the rug and everybody's going to see it. You can't always sweep it under the rug. But she's speaking to herself, basically telling her that I know this hurts you like it hurts me, because it's yourself, right? But you have to be honest with yourself. And that's a building block for a better self. It's about being honest with yourself and building your temple from within. And that's what she's talking about. This is so beautiful. This poetry, Invisible Wounds. Invisible because nobody knows this. This is all in a battle. Again, I'm saying battle. It's not a battle where I'm at, but you know, in some people's minds, it's a battle. But you really, anything you're going through under your control. Your temple is under your control. Her temple is under her control. You know, my temple is under my control. Like, are we going to be good managers? Are we going to be good prime ministers? Are we going to be good presidents? Are we going to be good leaders to our temple? That's the major questions. Are we going to be the right CEO to lead this temple into greatness? That's what it comes down to. But these lyrics in here are just so amazing. It's crazy. She's just next level.
To know you hurt me, and now my blood is yours, and life is slowly losing touch. How do we learn to tend to these invisibles our homes gave us?
That's who we are.
I can't heal you, and you can't heal me, even if we wanted to. And how I wanted to, and I need you to stop needing me. Like I needed you, we both need to tend to the invisibles.
That's incredible. Wow. Man, she touched my soul. She touched my soul so much. You know, towards the end, when she was talking about attending to your temple, right? Attending to yourself. And you don't need nobody, because it's true. You don't need nobody. Like you don't need nobody to speak to or any of that. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, right? You're like, what do you mean? You need somebody to talk to when you're going through it. I understand. It seems that way, and a lot of people have conditioning a lot of people to be that way, right? Through history. The fact is that everything that goes on within you is under your control. It's only one. It's only you. Body is not. Body is just a rental that you use on a daily basis. So depending on how you treat your body will treat you. But the soul within, the person that you're dealing with, your entire life, from the very start till right now, and until tomorrow and beyond, to whenever your time expires, right? Only you are living with that person. Only you. Nobody else. There's not one other person that knows that person better than you do. Because you've been living with that person. You've been feeding that person everything that it knows. So what touched me over here is this part right here.
We both need to tend to the invisibles.
Mind, body, and soul. We need to attend to our invisible wounds. You know, that reminds me of The Art of Communication, right? This book, if you haven't read it, you should definitely I forget the name. The name is really hard. Something Han, like HAN. But just look for The Art of Communication. You can even find a audio book on YouTube as well. Peep game, I'm telling you guys, okay? Warriors and non-warriors and everybody in between. The Art of Communication explains exactly what she's talking about. Attending to your invisible wounds. When we start our life in the very, very beginning is when we are the most impressionable, right? As children, up to like 11, 12. And then from then on, the world takes over, basically, your surroundings and however you condition yourself to move forward. But those first, 11, 10, 12 years are the most crucial time. And a lot of us, especially from like broken families and so forth, we have a lot of trauma. Trauma that when we become adults, we just sort of just push. Like we push that child of us that we knew from before. Because he would never do some of the things we do as adults. Never. That child would have never did that. They would have never even thought about some of the stuff that we do as adults. Right? So the book speaks about, she said, attending to the invisible wounds. The book is talking about attending to your inner child, the child you was before the world made up your mind, basically. That when you were learning everything, when you were looking at everything like it's brand new, you didn't make up your mind about anything yet during that time. And if that child is hurting, sometimes we don't notice. We're going through our life and we're doing a lot of crazy stuff and we don't notice. That's because our inner child is hurt. And we left that child behind and never gave it no conclusion, no nothing. Just left it out there. So go back and walk with that child. Attend to your invisible wounds. Because our past, we have invisible wounds that nobody sees, that only we think about. And she's talking about attending to those and not letting them harm you for the remainder of the time. Because time is precious. Time is super duper precious. All right, guys. Now, I know I stopped at a lot. I understand. And some of you guys might be mad about that. But I just wasn't expecting this type of poetry and this type of message. I wasn't expecting her to talk about what she ended up talking about. The invisible wounds. I love that. Invisible wounds. And every single lyric in there, all full circle. And not only every single lyric full circle, but everyone in this room, the instrumental was as magnificent as the lyrics were, as the vocals was, as the delivery was. I mean, it's just, this is one of the most beautiful performances I've ever heard in my life. And that goes with the song, the artist, and everybody involved in here. Everyone playing the instruments. This is one of the best performances I've ever witnessed. And that's considering the content as well, as I said. The content. Invisible Wounds. Wow. Genius. Honestly, genius, Aurora. Genius. Genius. Wow. Wow, your poetry is like next level. My goodness. God bless your heart. You're out here killing it. They taught you right. They taught you right. Shout out to your parents. They taught you right. Whoever raised you, they definitely taught you right. Visible Wounds. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. I am astonished. She absolutely destroyed this. This is, like I said, one of the best performances I've ever seen. So shout out to Aurora. Shout out to everyone involved in here playing these instruments. So many instruments being played at the same time. That was magical. Their entire show was magical. Whew. Guys, I gave you my thoughts, and I know you're going to give me your thoughts on the comments down below. Don't you dare forget to like, and don't you dare forget to subscribe. You need to subscribe, okay? It's a must you subscribe. Check out our Patreon. Our videos be coming out early in there, and you won't miss a thing. We trying to grow this channel to the next level, so come and join the team, baby. We only put out the best of the best, and Aurora is the best of the best, as you witness. So until next time, guys, y'all be safe.